Okay, ladies and gentlemen, how are you doing? David Luciaga for Wake Up Now. Very exciting day for me today. Well, one of my teammates, Petee Vann, located out of Toronto, killed it. 6 weeks. He's F4 right now. Canada's first F4. Pete, you there, man?
Yeah, I'm here, man. David, what's up, man? Good morning. Good morning.
Well, good afternoon, man. You running slow. That's that college stuff, man. But listen, Pete, I just wanted to sit here and talk with you because you did some extraordinary things. I mean, F4, you've only been in the business like 6 weeks. Let me close out my Facebook because I hear stuff clicking through.
Oh,
Or was
bro.
that or was that your Facebook,
That
man?
was not mine. That was not mine.
Man, I don't see Facebook open over here at all. Uh, well, listen, whatever. If it beeps through, it beeps through. So Pete, listen. I know you had a lot of success in another company. I want to be respectful. I know that when you came to me and you talked about Wake Up Now, you were very, very animate about the fact that you didn't want to go through like other people had done and cross recruit the whole entire company and be disrespectful down the product and all that other stuff. And it was a very unique conversation because I haven't had those kind of conversations with other people. So if you could kind of lend kind of tell these people why that was so important to you and what's happening now because you handled things the right way. I think that would be awesome.
Okay, cool. So just really touch up on that. I mean, yes, I was actually involved in another network marketing company before Wake Up Now. It was one of these companies I was involved or related to health and wellness, and pretty much that company is what kind of started me, changed my paradigm. Started me to open up my mind and open up my eyes to what's really happening in the world. It really increased my awareness level, and definitely, I always tell those people, and I've had spoken with them individually and said, hey, I thank you for everything you've taught me. I mean, if it wasn't for you, I would not have been the person I am today. Unfortunately, that relationship that I had with those people, I didn't have with everybody that was kind of mentoring me. There's a couple people specifically I just felt like didn't really I guess treat me like a friend. And that's something that I really like to capitalize on within my business. People can have a better approach, can have a better system, can have a better line or whatever it may be, but you can't outfriend me. And that's what I think. I like to be very transparent, very honest, and just being that way, that's kind of how I've attracted these specific people into my life. And it's been such a journey. The biggest thing that really kind of made that shift was because I was making money, but my team wasn't, and that's something that really stood out to me. It's like, okay, I put in all this effort, and these are my results. And if anyone knows, as a leader, usually your team would do maybe 90, 80, or even half the pace that you're going at. So if I'm going full throttle, and these are results I have, and no one can match that speed, then what kind of results are they going to get?
Yep.
And just put into perspective as to, I just crunching down some numbers and just comparing apples to apples. And when I took a look at Wake Up Now, there's no doubt in my mind that it has one of the most aggressive compensation plans I've ever seen. And I was very, very impressed with the products and services. And that's kind of what really made me, jump the ship. Is just put everything into comparison. Took a look at what happened, took a look where it's going. And as we know, definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again, expecting a result. So I just really kept an open mind to other opportunities. And, when I stumbled upon this and had a conversation with you, these past 60 days has been amazing.
Yeah. So you mentioned a few things. Like the first one is that you kept your ideas open, your options open, your mind open.
Yeah.
In network marketing, we tend to have a lot of different phrases. The ones that I heard most recently was, the mind's like a parachute. It only works if it's open.
Yeah.
So,
That's a good.
I understand. I understand the need to go ahead and do that. But I specifically want to touch on with
Yeah.
you. Why was it so important for you to protect your relationship? And,
Oh,
and I want to go ahead and say this in light of, I just came to Toronto. I spent 4 or 5 days out there, and guys, phenomenal team out there. Pete is doing a great job. I went there, and in 5 days, I felt like I had the biggest family in Toronto ever. Um, It was by far the most welcoming experience that I've ever had in another country, city, state by my Wake Up Now team. And so, I know that Pete is a relationship marketer. So I
Yeah.
want to talk to you about, the specifics of why it's important to protect your relationships.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, protecting your relationship goes hand in hand, really, with protecting your reputation, your image, how people view you in the world. And there's a few questions that I always tell my team to kind of go through, which is really important. It's one is to look in the mirror and ask yourself, who are you? Say it to the universe and describe yourself. Second one is ask yourself, how do people view you and how do people treat you? The third one is, are you happy? And if these things aren't congruent, then you're not genuine. That's what I really like to think, right? You should kind of know how people see you. You should know how you should treat yourself, and really just increase your awareness level. So in terms of building a relationship and keeping it, you have an image, a reputation that you had from birth, and the things that you've done over the course of years that you've been living, the actions you've been taking, the ways that you handled any type of situation really reflects who you are, because how you do anything is how you do everything. So
Mm-hmm.
that being said, the second you do something that's out of character, it's just one thing, because everybody will always remember the one negative thing that you did over the 1,000 positive things that you did, and it gives them an opportunity to kind of jump on it, and they just be like, oh man, like I didn't know he was like that, and it's just like
Yep.
these filters just come in and these shutters just come on. So personally, for me and my team, what I like to say is three rules. The first one is be honest, or three things to follow. Always be honest. I mean, being honest is good enough. And don't be honest to not so you don't have to avoid a lie, but be honest just because to make yourself happy. People ask me, Pete, how much money are you making or what's happening? I'm like, yeah, this is what's happening, but thing is that you need to understand where I'm going, right? Vision that. The second thing is make a friend first, talk business after. A lot of people will bring up this opportunity and be like, so what is it? And then they'll be like, oh, it's boom, 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 boom. Whereas this is like, no, you need to get to know the person, because you know what? This business isn't for everybody, but everybody can be for this business given that they are qualified to, right? I mean, this business is not easy, but it's pretty simple, pretty simple. The third one is live every day like it's your first. A lot of people like to say live every day like it's your last, and I disagree with that, because if you live every day like it's your last, you're going to have a list of things that you need to do that you're not going to accomplish. You're living your last day in fear, and you're going to be left with regret. But if you live every day like it's your first, what that means is that, well, think about when you had your first kiss, when you had your first car, when you had your first child, or whatever it may be, you feel superhuman, like really. And I say own that feeling into yourself and then spread that love to the world. So, building a relationship is key. I really spent a lot of time, a lot of hours just getting to know my teammates. Every new member, I reach out to them, hey, my name's Peter, can we hop on Skype? I want to get to know you, I can't wait to meet you in person, and really just built the people, and the people built the business.
Awesome. Awesome. Now, Pete. I also know that you're borderline superhuman. You do things that that other people can't. I mean, in your last company, you went diamond in 2 weeks, right?
Correct, correct.
And about how many people were in your organization when you did that?
At that time, I believe it was over, about around 80 to hit that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I mean, guys, I want to point out that Pete isn't the normal person, right? He commits to the businesses that he's in. He puts forth the effort, and that's why he gets the return that he gets, right? So he did about 80 people in this past company in 2 weeks. If you could kind of give a guesstimate, how many people do you think were on your team in 6 weeks in that company, man?
In 6 weeks within that company, um, it was probably more or less about 80 to 100 within my first 6 weeks.
Okay,
Yeah.
so about 80 to 100 in that past company. In this company, in 6 weeks, you have about 120 total. I do know that you're making good money, and because we're talking money, the income disclosure statement is inside the description, guys. But you're making good money. You're making $2,000 a month, plus you're making some bonuses. $250 a month for your vacation, and some overrides as well. So
Right.
I understand that, but compare for people so that they understand how many people on your team in Wake Up Now are making money comparative to how many people were making money, serious money. And by serious, you know,
Yeah.
$600 a month, because that's our F3. How many people would you say in your old organization with the old company were making that with the number of people you brought in?
Only me. Only me. And that's something that I really wasn't really happy about. Is the fact that regardless if my teammates were making money or what were not making money, especially when they're not making money, I was still able to capitalize on that. I didn't feel that fair at all. I felt like the only way that I could have made a significant income is if my team made it first. So when I was comparing apples to apples and kind of running through the numbers, because you know what, the numbers don't really lie, and just look at how many people it took to hit a specific rank, how many people it took to make X amount of dollars, and when I looked at it, most of my teammates in my old venture weren't even breaking even. They couldn't even take care of their overhead costs, and any money that they make, they were just so focused on the fast start, focused on the initial lump sum that you get, and then really think that they made this big chunk of this big check that they could sit on or survive off of for the next 2-3 months. Like, yeah, this is my first couple weeks, this is my first month, I could live off this, I could continue to do this and pursue it. And a lot of people kind of do that, quit their jobs and everything, got a touch of entrepreneurship, don't ever want to work a job again, kind of have this position and just keep on grinding it up but aren't getting any results.
Gotcha.
Biggest thing. Right now, in Wake Up Now, what I love about it is my team is winning.
Listen, I was going through your organization with you just a couple days ago. How many people are making $600 a month, roughly?
I've got about 8 to 10 people. I just couldn't confirm a couple more. 8 to 10. Most of them, mind you, have only been in it for a week or 2 weeks, because we've only been doing this for 60 days. So every new member that joined in within the first couple days to a week, they already broke even. Second week, third week, they already hit 600. Third week, fourth week, multiple people are in the 600 club. The biggest thing about that is that we're covering their overhead costs and they're putting money in their pocket.
Yep.
That's probably the biggest thing. So right now I have about 10 people, 8 to 10 people just in the 600 club, and I've got maybe about like 30 people that all have no overhead costs.
Now you see, guys, and this is why I wanted you to understand. Obviously, Pete's a leader in Canada. I would argue that he is the leader in Canada. And, yeah, I see you smiling, dude.
What can I do? I can't keep a straight face.
Right. But and this is how serious I am. If you're watching this video and you're in Canada, in the description, I don't have my link. I posted Pete's link because I understand that, he's who you're going to be building with. But I wanted you to understand, and this is why I think it was important for me to interview Pete. Pete is a successful young man, right? He was successful in this last company. He is successful in this one. He's the first F4 in Canada. I believe he will be the first F7 and the first global executive. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to say I believe. I know that he will be the first Canadian F7 and the first Canadian global executive. But the reason why I wanted to highlight this is because Pete and I, we have very similar ideals, paradigms, the way that we think about business. I could be super successful in just about anything. If you see my recruiting numbers, 1,200 people almost in a year, which is superhuman. Right? And if you take a look at Pete, he has an organization of about 120 people in 60 days. That's also superhuman. But we both care about our teams, and we care about people winning with us, which is how come I wanted you to hear his heart and hear what he had to say. If you're from Canada and you're watching this, sign up with Pete right now. The link is in the description. Pete, before we go, any last words for people that are watching this, man?
Yeah, man, if you're watching this, just really, take things to heart and just really start to increase your awareness level, and start noticing the things that are happening around you. Start looking at your financials, start looking at your game plan as to where you're going and how long you've been doing what you've been doing, and taking a look at your results, right? Because the team is only going to move as fast as their leader, and if the leader is not getting the results that they want, how is their team going to accomplish the things that they want as well, right? So really, lead by example and always take care of your people, man. I mean, for the first, 60 days, I took care of my people, and then when it came to the last, 2 days, in order for me to rank up, I'm like, guys, man, I don't know if I can rank up. I'm about 30 people away, and we only got, 2 days left. Every single person in my organization said, Peter, I got you. I got you. You definitely deserve this. And I was just so humbled that these, my team, my family was literally up to like 4, 5, 6, 7 o'clock in the morning for those 2, 3 days trying to help me hit a rank. That's.
And I'm going to highlight this because Pete came in and he was not the first F3 in his organization. Somebody else was, and he did that on purpose. So I'm going to highlight that. I'm sorry to interrupt you, man. Keep on going.
No problem. Yeah, man. I've had other people. I could have hit F3 my first couple of days, but I've actually helped a couple other people hit F3 first. Realizing how much it is that you just gotta give, man. You gotta give and give and give, and that's the reason why I have the success I have now is because for 24 years of my life I've been giving. I've been giving and giving and giving. People made fun of me. I turned my other cheek. People stomped on my pride. I said, that's cool, man, and just really gave. And now, 24 years later, whenever I ask anyone, hey, I want you to check something out, or maybe you can do a little favor for me, they're like, totally awesome because of the value that I provided to them in their life over the number of years of consistently of the relationship that I've kept with them.
Awesome. Well, Pete, thank you so much for your time, man. I don't want to keep you. I know you got some recruiting to do.
Yeah.
So, guys, if you're in Canada, get with Pete. His link is in the description. Pete, say goodbye to these people, man.
All right, everybody. My name's PV. You can find me pretty much on the link at the bottom. I just want to say one thing, and that is I want everybody, especially you, to have a great day, a wonderful day, an amazing day on purpose.
He's still in my lines. I love this guy. Guys, goodbye. Have a great day on purpose. I'm David Lisiaga. God bless you all.
Peace.